Listen, hope we're back. Yesterday was unforgivable, Steve. Look, I know yesterday was unforgivable. Today was unforgivable. But I assure you, we are back to full strength tonight. There will be no technical issues. If they are, then I guess we're moving to Rumble. But guys, just be cool. Do what you got to do. Live from our studios, live from the Tom O'Neill Memorial Studios on the fourth floor of the Park Forest Apartment Complex. This is Steve Sporty Balls. And here's your host, man has got a lot on his mind. Here's Steve. Thank you. Yeah, I do got a lot on my mind and a lot on my plate and a lot on everything else. But I'm here. Good evening. Welcome to our little show of shows. And I know I shouldn't do this, but I do got to get me a drink. So I'll be back. No monologue tonight. We're going straight to the sports. We got a lot to cover. So, pardonnez-moi, one of these, pardonnez-moi. Okay. We're back in a few moments. Stay here. Get the drink now. Okay, got that stream going, guys. I'm getting there. Hello. Yes, friends, it is good to be here tonight. Let's get to it. Let's get on with it. Behind the Desilu microphones, behind the Desilu microphone, I am your host, Steve the Baxman Baxley. And we're getting on with it because we're a bit late, 9 minutes late, but still we're here. I had a really tough day. I'm just glad I'm here. Let's get to it with a little bit of some news. Now, of course, there's some good news. For the third time in history, Major League Baseball will play regular season games in London this weekend. The National League East rivals, New York Mets and Philadelphia Phillies, are headed across the pond to play the two-game London series. The 2019 London series, which features the Boston Red Sox and New York Yankees, was Major League Baseball's first ever trip to Europe. The Chicago Cubs and St. Louis Cardinals played in the 2023 London series. Phillies manager Rob Thompson said earlier this week through MLB.com, I think everybody is excited to go. I think this is going to be unique and it's going to be a great experience for everyone involved. Can we go back to the story? Yes, indeed. We're trying. We're not. There we go. Oh, Lord. I think this is going to be unique. It's going to be a great experience for everyone involved. The 2024 London Series will again be played at London Stadium, which was built for the 2012 London Olympics. It's a multi-purpose facility that is currently the home of Premier League club West Ham United. London Stadium seats 62,500. Oh, today I'm just feeling good. As you can see, I got a new outfit, so we're trying to get everything here. Yesterday, we had a tech issue. Today, no tech issues. Let's see. London Stadium seats 62,500 for soccer matches and will seat a touch more for this weekend's baseball games. Now, here are the details for the weekend's Mets versus Phillies series in London. Both games can be streamed on Fubo. You can try for free, but only for 7 days. Saturday, June 8th, 1:10 p.m. Left-handed pitcher Ranger Suarez, 9-1 with a 1.70 ERA versus left-handed pitcher Sean Manaea, 3-2 with a 3.63 ERA. That game to be televised on Fox. The second game, Sunday, June 9th, 10:10 a.m. Eastern. Left-handed pitcher Jose Quintana taking on right-handed pitcher Tejuan Walker. Quintana 1-5 with a 5.17 ERA. Walker 3-1 with a 5.73 ERA. That game will be seen on ESPN and on Fubo. The Mets and Phillies are both off Thursday and Friday. MLB and the two teams are participating in promotional events leading up to this weekend's game, so they'll go to the London series with well-rested bullpens. Now, although they entered the London series with a disappointing 27-35 record, the Mets are hot. They just swept 3 from the Washington Nationals and have won 5 of their last 7 games overall. The Phillies have been the best team in the NL all season. They are 44-19 overall and have won 6 of their last 7 games. Both teams are playing very well. Thank you very much. This is a home-and-home series. The Mets will be the home team Saturday, Phillies the home team Sunday. To make the schedule work, the Mets and Phillies played a usual 4-game home-and-home series last month. They played 2 games at Citi Field from May 13th to 14th, then 2 games at Citizen Bank from May 15th and 16th. The Phillies won 3 out of 4. Here are now 4 things to know heading into the London series post prediction, because why the hell not? Now, this is Major League Baseball's 3rd trip to London. Red Sox and Yankees played the inaugural London series in 2019. Then, after the pandemic delayed things for a few years, MLB made a return to London with the Cardinals and Cubs in 2023. Previous London series results, I'm glad you asked. London series 2019, June 29th, Yankees 17, Red Sox 13, June 30th. Yankees swept it 12-8. 2023, June 24th, Cubs beat the Cardinals, and on the 25th, Cardinals beat the Cubs. The 2019 London series was arena baseball. The Red Sox and the Yankees combined for 12 runs in the first inning of the first game, and 5 times in the two games, 6+ runs were scored in a half inning. Major League Baseball and the London Stadium folks made changes to the playing surface in 2023. Though the league said it was not in response to all the offense in 2019, the seating arrangement was changed and foul territory was reduced. It'll be 330 down both lines, 387 in the gaps, and 392 to center field. The 16-foot center field wall slopes down to 8 feet. 2 Met players have prior London series experience, J.D. Martinez and Adam Ottavino. Martinez went 6 for 9 with 2 doubles and a home run the 2 games as a member of the Red Sox in 2019. Ottavino, then with the Yankees, allowed 2 hits and a walk in 1.5 scoreless innings and 2 appearances in 2019. No Philly player has played in the London series previously. Number 2, each team does get an extra player. The Mets and Phillies will have a 27-man active roster in London, so they'll get an extra player. They are limited still to 13 pitchers. However, so the extra player must be a position. The 2 teams will bring a 3-man taxi squad for a London series as well. It would rather be difficult to call someone up between games in the event of injury, The Mets are bringing up third baseman Brett Baty, catcher Joe Hudson, and right reliever Cole Susler as their 3-man taxi squad. As our 3-man taxi squad, and Batty will be their 27th man. Catcher Rafael Marchand, first baseman Derek Hall, and righty Nick Nelson will be Philadelphia's taxi squad, reported by the Philadelphia Inquirer. Suarez, who's been one of the best pitchers in the league this season, exited his last start after taking a comebacker to his pitching hand. X-rays were, of course, negative. And after letting the swelling subside for a few days, Suarez was able to play catch earlier this week. Congratulations. On Friday, Thompson confirmed Suarez is good to go. Saturday will make the start, reported by Newsday. Longman Spencer Turnbull, who was so good filling in while Walker was on the injured list earlier this year, will be available for multiple innings in the event Suarez has any issues with his hand. Number 4, if our teleprompter can work. Okay, come on. Baseball is a sport of hot and cold streaks. Day-to-day and week-to-week consistency is a myth. As such, several players head into this week's series swinging the bat better than others. And here are the hot Mets hitters over the last 15 days. Francisco Lindor, Starling Marte, and Mark Vientos. Now here are the 3 Philly hitters that are really hot over the past 15 days. Nick Castellanos, Kyle Schwarber, and Edmundo Sosa. More upcoming international events. Would you like to know what they are? I'm telling you. The London series will be the 3rd and final regular season series played internationally this year. LA Dodgers and San Diego Padres split 2 games in Seoul, South Korea to open the 2024 season, and then the Houston Astros swept the Colorado Rockies in 2 games in Mexico City in late April. The Yankees also played 2 exhibition games against Diablos Rojos del Mexico of the Mexican League in Mexico City in spring training. These are expected to be more. There are expected to be more international games in 2025, though Major League Baseball has already canceled the Paris series because the league failed to find a promoter. It's been rumored Shota Imanga and Sei Suzuki and the rest of the clubs will open next season against Shohei Ohtani, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and the Dodgers in Tokyo. MLB may also return to Mexico City and Puerto Rico in 2025. The international schedule will be made official when MLB releases the 2025 schedule in July. And the Phillies, and the prediction is a split between the two teams, obviously. So, there you be. Yes, indeed. There you is. Okay, we hate to do this, but unfortunately, we do have some bad news. And it once again comes from the NFL. We also got another NFL story for bad news. But this one's a little bit. Former Miami Dolphin cornerback, let's try that again. Former Miami Dolphin cornerback Xavier Howard is still looking for his new NFL home, but he's now dealing with a serious issue off the field. According to new court filings that were filed Thursday and provided to CBS News Miami, WFOR Channel 4, Howard is accused of circulating photos and videos of himself and other women having sex to humiliate them and cause emotional distress. He is also accused of sending this material to a minor boy. In a filing made by John Doe, it was explained that Howard had the cell phone numbers of a woman's children, so the woman could text message Howard if her own phone died. The woman would delete the text between her and Howard on the other phones before going back to hers. There was allegedly one occasion where Howard texted sexually explicit material of the woman to her son when Howard and the woman were fighting. The boy was a minor at the time and saw the content on his iCloud account after it was deleted from his phone by the mother. Howard had gotten the woman pregnant and allegedly demanded she get an abortion. In a filing made by Jane Doe, Howard is accused of sending several sexual videos and photos of different women to others. When Jane discovered this, she asked Howard why he shared those videos with other people. He allegedly responded saying he wanted to make her mad because she did not want to have sex with him. That's kind of stupid. The Dolphins parted way with 30-year-old Howard in March, designating him as a post-June first cut. The Pro Bowl cornerback had 3 years remaining on his 5-year, $90 million contract, and his cut saved Miami $18.5 million. And also some total embarrassment. Okay, let's continue on. The NFL, back to the NFL again. The NFL has debunked a rumor. Josh Jacobs said the Eagles and Packers will be banned from wearing green in Brazil. The running back apologized. Josh Jacobs started a firestorm this week when he casually mentioned during a podcast interview that the Packers and Eagles wouldn't be allowed to wear green for their Week 1 game in Brazil. However, it appears that's not actually the case. During a recent interview on the Green Light with Chris Long, Jacobs said that the Packers had been told not to wear green during their trip to South America. Quote, they said that the part of Brazil we're going to, you can't even wear green at. They said, I guess, something to do with gangs and stuff, that quote. The NFL has responded to these comments, and the league would like everyone to know that fans and players will be allowed to wear green in Brazil. An NFL spokesman told the Philadelphia Inquirer that when the game kicks off in September, you will see a stadium full of fans wearing the green of the Eagles and the green of the Packers. Jeff Kerr of CBSSports.com actually covered this exact topic back in April. And although there's an informal ban on the color green, that ban is related to the local soccer team. Quote, the Eagles-Packers game will be played at Corinthians Arena, which is home to the Brazilian soccer team Corinthians. The biggest rival for Corinthians is Palmeiras, who wear the color green. Corinthians has an informal ban on wearing green, as a former player was actually fined by the club a few years ago for wearing green cleats. Corinthians Arena has hosted several major international sporting events over the past decade, including 2014 FIFA World Cup and 2016 Olympics. And the ban on green wasn't an issue for either of those big events, so it's unlikely that it would be an issue for an NFL game. Now, it's possible the players were not told to wear green out in public, so they don't get mistaken for Palmeiras fans. But wearing green during the game won't be a problem. Although it doesn't sound like Jacobs will be packing very much green in his suitcase, and that also means money. Jacobs said, "quote they was like, man, look, just pack black and white colors when you come out here. We don't want no mishaps." Now, if the Packers and Eagles did want to avoid wearing green, Philly could wear black, and the Packers could go with their white uniforms. That wouldn't cut all the green out, but it would get rid of most of it. As for other aspects of the trip, Jacobs does definitely sound slightly concerned about his safety. Quote, they was like, man, it's one of the places where they probably won't even let us leave the hotels. They're probably going to have like armored vehicles following us. I said, bro, why are we out here? Why are we here? End quote. Apparently, Jacobs got his information from someone who had no idea what they were talking about because the NFL said the part about not leaving the hotel and traveling in armored vehicles is also not true. Jacob seems to realize that he may have gotten his information from a bad source because he apologized for his comments on Instagram. Yes. Jacobs wrote, damn, I was misinformed. Sorry, Brazil. See you soon. Packers and Eagles will be kicking off from Brazil on Friday, September 6th. This year, a reminder not to be surprised when one of the teams of the game is wearing green. Ha! So there you go. There you go, folks. Okay. More on the NBA. Nothing on the TNT deal yet. Okay. On the heels of leading UConn to back-to-back NC2A national championships, Dan Hurley has emerged as the LA Lakers' primary target in their coaching search, according to ESPN. Yes, CBS Sports' Bill Reitier has confirmed the Lakers' interest and pursuit of Hurley, and I think I read this before. Yeah, I did. Read it last night. They should update these, and I mean update them. Okay, let's get you. It's 10:28 right now. 10:26. Let's give you what happened tonight on SmackDown, and we're just going to let's see. Rhodes wants to make Styles quit. Rhodes was on the lookout for Styles all night following last week's brutal attack, and it was they're probably going to have an I Quit match at the Cash at the Castle. And that was it. That was the first match, or the first event. Sequoia has anointed Loa an official member of the Bloodline and promoted Tonga as his right-hand man. Kevin Owens and the Street Profits ran the Bloodline out of the ring. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill defeated Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae via pinfall. Grayson Walter defeated Johnny Gargano via pinfall. Belair and Cargill announced triple threat women's tag team title match, Clash of the Castle. LA Knight defeated Carmelo Hayes via pinfall. And Knight called out U.S. champion Logan Paul post-match. Paul dismissed Knight as a legitimate challenger in a remote video. Nia Jax and Mikan brawled backstage. Bayley cut a dueling promo with Piper Niven and Chelsea Green ahead of Bayley and Niven's match at Clash at the Castle. Excuse. Owens and the Street Profits defeated the Bloodline via disqualification. And there you go. That was it. A rather typical lame thing. All right, let's get you the brackets and any updates that have occurred. Okay, the 2024 baseball tournament for the NCAA is underway. The 64-team field has been trimmed to 16. The field for Super Regionals is set. Let's get to it. There will be a champion. And, okay, here we go. Friday, Two games just concluded. Florida State defeated UConn 24-4. Tennessee defeated Evansville 11-6. North Carolina, West Virginia, 6 p.m. on the Deuce, and Virginia, Kansas State, 7 p.m. on U. Tomorrow's games, Tennessee and Evansville. Well, all this will be on the ESPN family of networks. Let's just put it this way. 11 a.m. games, Tennessee at Evansville, Florida State at UConn. Georgia at North Carolina State at noon, Clemson versus Florida, and Texas A&M versus Oregon will be at 2 p.m. Virginia versus Kansas State at 3, Kentucky versus Oregon State at 6, and to wrap it up for Saturday, North Carolina versus West Virginia at 8. All games on the ESPN family of networks. June 9th, we got Georgia versus North Carolina State at noon on the Deuce. Clemson versus Florida, 2:30 on the Mothership, ESPN. Texas A&M versus Oregon, 7:30 on the Deuce. And Kentucky versus Oregon State at 9 on ESPNU. So there you go. We'll give you all the rest of them when they become available. Wow. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, let's get more into our news of the world in sports and pick up on what's been going on lately through our good friends at Awful Announcing. Yes, we are going to go through Awful Announcing. Now I'm going to take me one more drink. Okay, come on. Charles Barkley, speaking of inside the NBA, Charles Barkley obliterated stupid ESPN for wasting time on Dan Hurley. I was so pissed. Mm-hmm. The prospect of Dan Hurley joining the Los Angeles Lakers has been a massive story for ESPN, but not for Charles Barkley. On the morning before Game 1 of the NBA Finals, ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski dropped the Woj bombs, reporting the Lakers have been targeting UConn's Dan Hurley for their head coaching vacancy, with ESPN's J.J. Redick previously being touted as Lakers' top head coaching candidate. The Hurley news spawned the content tree of talking points for the network that likely usurped some of their previous planned NBA finals coverage. The programming decision didn't sit well with Barkley, however. Barkley joined Outkick's Don't At Me with Dan Dakish Friday morning and ripped ESPN to shreds for talking about Hurley and the Lakers over the NBA finals. Barkley has frequently ripped ESPN's programming decisions, and he often has a fair gripe. But you can't expect ESPN to ignore the surprising news of Hurley's sudden Lakers coaching candidacy in favor of previewing the X's and O's of the NBA Finals game. ESPN's daytime programming certainly manufactures some untimely talking points about LeBron or the Lakers for the sake of aggregation, but the Hurley story isn't one to complain about. This was not breaking down whether Stephen A. Smith could score a basket on LeBron James or who LeBron James's best running mate was. This was a bombshell report by Wojnarowski worthy of the A block. Would it have been better for ESPN if it was reported Tuesday or Wednesday instead of the morning before Game 1 of the finals? Maybe for Barkley, but Hurley to the Lakers wasn't a story for ESPN to just report and shelve. This was an out-of-nowhere news story with significant talking points that deserved several segments, even with Game 1 of the NBA Finals looming. Personally, for me, just should have been done once and go on about it. Okay, let's get back. Well, TNT may have just done the biggest scoop in the world. Per Variety, the Showbiz Bible, Warner Brothers Discovery will be adding the French Open to its library of live sports rights. TNT Sports has another sporting event to its lineup. Domestically, though, it is one the company as a whole is familiar with. That's right, the multi-year deal also contains the tournament's rights in Europe, where the company has aired the event for decades. Variety also reports that the coverage will air on WBD's on Warner Brothers Discovery's linear networks, TBS, TNT, and True TV, are the most notable for live sports, as well as the Max streaming service and Bleacher Report digital platforms. Now, here's the full PR piece. Warner has acquired the U.S. rights to the French Open, the tennis tournament known as Roland Garros, according to people familiar with the matter, snatching up a property that has primarily been associated with NBC Sports for the past several years. In Europe, however, where Warner Brothers Discovery operates the massive Eurosport pay TV networks, the Open has been part of its offering since '89. The new deal will give Warner rights to telecast the event in both the U.S. and Europe, according to these people, and bring a new offering to the company's U.S. portfolio, which features games from the NHL, Major League Baseball, and the NBA, as well as a significant part of the annual March Madness men's college basketball tournament. Warner Brothers Discovery intends to make content tied to the Open available across its linear cable networks, its Max streaming service, and its Bleacher Report digital sports hub, according to people familiar with the deal. Warner Brothers Discovery is co-owner of the new Venue streaming sports joint venture operated with Fox and Disney, expected to debut in the fall. Now, domestically, as the press release said, that the French Open has aired on NBC's platforms for decades, which has also included Peacock exclusive programming. Tennis Channel also airs coverage as part of a sub-licensing deal with NBC and previously sub-licensed some of that coverage to ESPN, which walked away from the tournament after the 2015 edition. There's no immediate word on the future of that sub-licensing agreement with TNT Sports taking over. NBC's coverage of the tournament has received criticism in recent years, with Daniel Kaplan wondering this week why the network was still even bothering to air the French Open. Today's news of the shift to TNT Sports puts a bow on NBC's lengthy run airing the tournament and signals the start of a new era of the French Open on U.S. television. So, congratulations, TNT. You've done it. You've done it awesomely. There we go. How did game one of the NBA Finals do in the ratings? Well, here we go. Here we go, Wawasaling. Well, Boston Celtics kept the Dallas Mavericks at arm's length in game one of the 2024 NBA Finals, but the viewers didn't stick around long enough to see a Dallas comeback. Sports Media Watch reports that 11.04 million viewers, including 43,000 on ESPN Deportes and 10.99 mil on ABC, watched Boston's 18-point win. Now that is down from game one in both 2022, 11.90 million, and 2023, 11.58 million. Despite the decline from the last two seasons, the game was still up from game one of the 2020 and 2021 finals matchup. The game turning into a laugher into a laugher early. Boston went up by 10 late in the first and only didn't lead by double digits for roughly a minute of the entire last three quarters. Had a clear impact on viewership. The audience for Game 1 peaked in the 9:15 p.m. Eastern Quarter Hour with 12.11 million viewers and continued declining the rest of the way, finishing with just 9.01 million viewers in the 10:45 Eastern and final quarter hours. The drop for Game 1 comes after both the Eastern Conference and Western Conference final saw over-the-year declines thanks to matchups going just 4 and 5 games respectful. The positive spin on Game 1 viewership is that it wiped the floor with everything else on television. ESPN's release touts a record share of 20.3% for Game 1, meaning that 20.3% of televisions in use on Thursday were watching the game, the largest ever for a finals Game 1 on ABC, with a 50% share in the famed 18 to 34 demographic. Game 2 airs Sunday, June 9th at 8, of course, on ABC. Okay, it is 40 minutes past the hour, and hello to Taylor Swift with Taylor Swift, greater than Disney, Star Wars, and MCU, and Doctor Who, otherwise known as Matt G. How you doing, pal? Glad you could be with us. Matt, don't worry. You'll get the links coming up after the show before I go to Snorville. Jake Paul and Mike Tyson's little idiocy has been rescheduled for Friday, November 15th, and will air live on Netflix. So those of you who have Netflix, oh joy, oh rapture, are you going to be in for fun? Okay, let's give you another little sad report from the NFL. Initially filed in 2015, a California judge certified a class action antitrust lawsuit from subscribers and commercial establishments who subscribed to NFL Sunday Ticket in early 2023. On Friday, that lawsuit finally got underway. The crux of the lawsuit is that the NFL broke antitrust laws when it allowed DirecTV to exclusively sell the Sunday Ticket package of out-of-market Sunday games from CBS and Fox at what it claimed is an inflated price while restricting competition. DirecTV hosted NFL Sunday Ticket from 94 to 2022, and it has been on YouTube TV since then, with that deal running through 2029. The class action lawsuit includes 2.45 million commercial and residential subscribers from 2012 to 2022 and is seeking $7.1 billion in damages. Under federal rules, damages are tripled in these cases, so the NFL could potentially be found liable for $21 billion. That is $656.25 million per team, if you will. The league said Sunday Ticket is a premium add-on for some fans and notes that all games for local teams are available on local broadcast networks. Beth Wilkerson, attorney, said, the case is about choice. This is a viable premium product. Think about all the choices available to fans. We want as many people as possible to watch the free broadcast. The NFL always wanted Sunday Ticket to be an additional package. That is how it was designed since its inception, end quote. Among those scheduled to testify and expected to do same at the trial are Commissioner Roger Goodell, Dallas Cowboy owner Jerry Jones, who is a longtime member of the NFL Broadcast Committee. It's not very often that the NFL has a legal entanglement that gets all the way to this point, so there's going to be a ton of attention paid to what is said and the kind of documentation shown during the trial. If things do go against the NFL here, we could see the price of Sunday Ticket change dramatically in favor of fans, plus the threatened opt-out of the present-day NFL broadcast deals get sort of fast-tracked, if you know what I mean. We'll keep you updated on that as well, kids. Oh boy, we are not done yet. Okay. Hmm. Okay, well, this is going to be interesting. As you know, Rogers Sportsnet is, I think, in year 11 of the 12-year blockbuster, big ass money grabbing deal for the Canadian TV broadcast rights. Well, guess what? Pray that you, Rogers Sports and Media, will finally have a winner. The Edmonton Oilers are a hot property these days, entering their first Stanley Cup since 2006. The Oilers dropped some big news Friday, announcing they have extended their regional broadcast agreement with Sportsnet on the Sportsnet West regional fee for 11 years to at least 2035. Terms of the deal, obviously, not disclosed. It's not unexpected. Sportsnet has been home to the Oilers regional broadcast for more than a decade. The two sides last agreed to a broadcast extension in 2021. The Edmonton Oilers have been a key part of Sportsnet's programming for more than 25 years, Sportsnet President Greg Sanson said via NHL.com. We look forward to continue building on this great partnership and delivering coverage to hockey fans across the region. We thank the Oilers for trusting us with their regional broadcast for 11 more years. Stu McDonald, President and Chief Revenue Officer of OEG Inc., which owns the Oilers, said in a statement, "We couldn't be happier to continue our partnership with Sportsnet, which includes what we believe is the best regional broadcast play-by-play and analysis in hockey, along with leading-edge technology and constant innovation." Now, Sportsnet also holds national broadcast rights for the NHL in Canada and will broadcast Stanley Cup Final between the Oilers and Panthers beginning Saturday. Games are also streamed on Sportsnet Plus. So there you go, a wonderful exuberance of joy. Okay. Okay. Um, Bill, we got another little thing here, and then we will go straight to scores. It's been nearly 4 months since Bill Simmons and Pat McAfee first engaged in their war of words. But while the feud has seemingly been dormant since February, Simmons reignited it this week by poking fun at the former All-Pro punter's apology for referring to Clayton Clark as a white on Monday's episode of the Pat McAfee Show. Quote, "Luka's plus 210, Simmons said on the Bill Simmons podcast, referring to Luka Doncic's NBA Finals MVP odds. But if Pat McAfee calls him a white before game time, would that go up or down, Sal? Would finals odds get affected by that?" Sal Iacono, his co-host, said he just apologized for that. He apologized proactively for calling Luka a white, so that is good. Simmons responded, "I happened to watch that apology this morning." Cousin Sal said, "Yeah, it teared up a little bit." "It was emotional stuff," Simmons replied. "Mullet guy number 2 was tearing it up. It was really great." Simmons' digs at McAfee didn't stop with his shot at the apology or Boston Connor as he proceeded to question how long the West Virginia product will remain on ESPN's airwaves. Quote, "Over under, Pat McAfee still on ESPN. If I gave you February 2025 over under," Simmons asked Sal and Joe House later in the podcast. "Oh, I'm going to go under," Sal replied. "This industry's insane. Yeah, I'm going to go under. February 2025, that's what, 17 months? Solid under." After House agreed, of course, Simmons offered an adjusted line of October 2024 for the end of McAfee's ESPN tenure. Sal, of course, replied, "That's different. An adjusted line of Pat McAfee. You need him for football season," Simmons responded. While Simmons' latter comments could be viewed as just as much a commentary about ESPN as McAfee. There's clearly no love lost between the Ringer founder and the WWE Raw announcer. After Simmons delivered a surprisingly good McAfee impression in January, McAfee responded weeks later by mocking the sports guy's failed FanDuel Super Bowl parlay, with Simmons returning serve with a not-so-subtle shot regarding the McAfee show ratings on ESPN. That's where the back and forth seemed to stop, with neither having referenced each other in any meaningful way since mid-February. But after Simmons opted to reignite the feud while McAfee was in the headlines for all the wrong reasons this week, it will obviously be interesting to see whether that paves the way for the former punter to return fire in days ahead. Yawn. I'm going to say it. Yawn. If you're low in the ratings, why have a piss off to try to save your ratings? So there you go. Okay, we are at 50 minutes past the hour of 10 o'clock. In a little bit, we're at 10:49 right now, but it is time we bring you, of course, the scores. That's right. We got scores. We are not going to be doing a live listen in because of time, but tomorrow we will. So we're going to try to get in the NBA finals. No, we're going to try to get in a bit of the NHL finals for you, and some minor leagues baseball. Right now, it's time for us to get with it, get rocking, get rolling, and give you the final scores of all the baseball games in and around this wacky world of sports. So let us do this with fun, thrills, chills, and excitement galore. Okay, so let's first stop over the minor leagues. We'll give you all the scores from that. And I personally cannot wait because I got to go to the I got to pick 4 games that I'm going to go for the lug nuts. And I'll go take some pictures, might take a little video. Don't quote me. But here we go, kiddies. All the scores from minor league baseball. And we're going to have, as I'm promising you, Saturday, we will have a live listen in. Okay? Dunkashane. Okay, kiddos, here we go. All the games of love. All the games. All. Why aren't you listening? Okay, we'll do the AAA first. Okay, top of the 9th inning, Oklahoma City leads Round Rock 5-3. Bottom of the 6th, El Paso leads Vegas 7-6. Top of the 8th, Sugar Land leads Salt Lake 7-1. Bottom of the 5th, Albuquerque leads Sacramento 2-0. Bottom of the 3rd, Tacoma over Reno 3-0. Final scores: Gwinnett 10, Durham 1. Scranton Wilkes-Barre over Norfolk 10-0. Worcester. Okay, let's see. Where's Worcester? Okay, we'll just do it this way then. Bottom of the 6th, ACL Cubs over the ACL Padres 7-2. Bottom of the 5th, the San Francisco team. Oh, great! Now we're having more problems. Okay, screw that. Screw this. Oh boy. Trying to do the scores We're trying to do them fast because we are at the mercy of our clock here. So what happens? Everything begins to fall apart. By the way, Saturday, 10 p.m. Okay, let's see. Final scores: Gwinnett over Durham, 10-1. Scranton Wilkes-Barre over Norfolk, 10-0. Worcester over Rochester, 7-4. Jacksonville over Charlotte, 10-4. Columbus beat Indianapolis 7-3. Buffalo beat Lehigh Valley 5-2. Nashville over Louisville 6-5. Final in 7 innings. Memphis over Omaha 13-4. Final in 10. Syracuse over St. Paul 3-2. Final score: Toledo losing to Iowa 4-2. Let's go now to Double A. Beep beep. For the Double A scores, the Double A scores, the Double A scores, guys. Double A. Thank you. Okay, doubleheader action. Tulsa won the first game over Amarillo, 17-4. Bottom of the sixth, Amarillo leads Tulsa in the second game, 6-1. Portland over Akron, 4-2. New Hampshire over Erie, 4-1. Altoona over Richmond, 3-1. Reading over Harrisburg, 6-3. Tennessee over Birmingham, 6-3. Binghamton over Bowie, 7-2. Somerset over Hartford, 12-4. Pensacola over Mississippi, 3-1. Rocket City beat Chattanooga 3-2. Final in 10. The Biscuits of Montgomery were rising to the occasion, and they beat up on Biloxi 5-4. San Antonio over Midland 3-1. Corpus Christi lost to Frisco 8-0. Arkansas or Arkansas, if you prefer, over Springfield 2-0. Northwest Arkansas or Northwest Arkansas 13-5 over Wichita. Okay, let us go now to High A, which includes Lansing Lugnuts. And guys, thank you. Top of the fifth, Tri-Cities over Eugene, 4-1. Bottom of the fifth, Spokane over Hillsboro, 4-0. Top of the third, Everett over Vancouver, 6-1. Final score just in. We'll get to that in a moment. Wilmington 4, Hudson Valley 3. Okay, here we go. Thank you, boys. Come on. Come on. We don't have much yutzing time here, so let's get to the High A so we can get to Major League Baseball and do all the other stuff that we do the best that we can. Ba-boom. Okay, let's see. Jersey Shore 9, Greensboro 4, Wilmington 4, Hudson Valley 3, Asheville over Bowling Green 11-7, Hickory over Greenville 4-2, Brooklyn over Aberdeen 13-7. In 12 innings, Winston-Salem beat Rome 5-3. Great Lakes Loons blanked Cedar Rapids 6-0. Dayton dismembered Lansing 7-5. In 10 innings, South Bend over West Michigan 4-2. Fort Wayne over Peoria 6-3. Lake County over Beloit 2-0. And the Quad Cities beat Wisconsin 10-1. Let's go now to Single A. And let's go now to Single A. Bottom of the fifth inning, Rancho Cucamonga over Visalia 6-3. Top of the sixth, Lake Elsinore over the Inland Empire 4-0. Top of the fourth, Fresno over Modesto 2-1. Also in the bottom of the fourth, San Jose and Stockton are tied at 1. Final scores: Daytona over St. Lucie 10-3. Final in 11 innings, Dunedin over Palm Beach 10-8. Jupiter over Lakeland 6-4. Tampa over Fort Myers 17-7. Clearwater over Bradenton 7-3. Charleston lost Carolina 7-4. Salem over Down East 6-2. Kannapolis over Fredericksburg 6-2. Um, Augusta over Myrtle Beach 3-2. Lynchburg over Delmarva 6-2. Columbia over Fayetteville 8-2. And that is that for the minors. Let's take you over to where the fun goes, and we go with it. It's time for Major League Baseball. Let's take it over to Major League Baseball. Get you all the scores. We got about 5 minutes left on our little programming, and I do tell you this little. Okay, so let's get to the scores, and we should be done with it very shortly. We got about 5 minutes now? Yep, 5 minutes. Let's go with it, folks. The scores. First, golf, the second round of the Memorial Tournament presented by Workday. Scotty Scheffler leads with 9 under. A tie in second place between Canadian Adam Hadwin and Victor Hovland. Both are at 6 under. Tied for fourth place between Christian Bezuidenhout and Keegan Bradley, both at 5 under. Major League Baseball scores. Bottom of the ninth, Mariners up 1 by the Royals, 9-8. Bottom of the eighth, Royals and Cardinals stuck in a tie at 5. Bottom of the sixth, Astros Angels also tied at 1. Bottom of the sixth, no score between the Jays and Athletics. And the top of the fifth, Padres over the Diamondbacks 3-0. Bottom of the ninth, we go back 1. Cardinals now lead the Rockies 6-5. Let's go for the final scores. Brewers blank the Tigers 10-0. Pirates over the Twins 3-0. Nationals over the Braves 2-1. Orioles over the Rays 6-3. Final in 11 was the Dodgers 2, Yankees 1. Reds over the Cubs 3-2. Marlins over the Guardians 3-2. Giants over the Rangers 5-2, and the White Sox over the Red Sox 7-2. In women's soccer at the half, Orlando 1, San Diego 0, and Racing Louisville defeated Houston 2-0. In the WNBA, at the half, boom, 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 boom. At the half, boom, boom, boom. Wings 44, Sparks 38. At the half. The Lynx are losing to the Mercury at the half. Mercury 38, the Lynx 35 at the half. Let's go to the half. WNBA, let's go to the half. The Storm leads the Aces 36-28 at the half. One final score to report. The Fever over the Mystics 85-83. And that's it. We're done. We got you the scores. We got you the world. We got you every bit of it, folks. And we're glad to have done it for you. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I don't know what else to do, but I'm going to have a fun Saturday. Hope you do too. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I am Steve the Baxman Baxley for Matthew the Wizard Nichols, our producer, one of the co-hosts on the L2C, Last Call Cafe, and for the man in the middle, Mr. Magnetism, Jay the Brain with 2 N's to avoid legal man. Thank you, everybody. For Harry, for the General, for his two kids. Thanks, guys. We gotta go. Good night. God bless. And remember, the sun shines bright, but it even shines brighter when you're smiling. Thank you, everybody, for watching. This has been a Mystifying Creativity production in association with the L2C Media Network. We'll talk to you tomorrow night. And Matthew, just a little reminder, I am going to send you those links tomorrow morning. Thanks, everybody. Good night.